Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're building a digital fortress, not with stones and mortar, but with strategy and code. We're going to dive deep into a concept that's absolutely critical in our world: cyber resilience.
All right, let's just get one thing straight right from the get-go. No matter how good your security is, no matter how much you spend, a cyber incident is going to happen. It's not a matter of if, but when. And that simple fact changes the entire game.
And to really understand why that mindset is so important, let's look at a real-world story. Because, trust me, this isn't just theory. The stakes are incredibly high. Okay, picture this. It's 2017, and the shipping giant Maersk gets hit with a malware called NotPetya. This wasn't just a hack. It was a digital apocalypse. In minutes, their entire global network was gone, just wiped out. And their whole recovery, the survival of the company, hinged on one incredible stroke of luck: a single server in Ghana that just happened to be offline because of a power outage. That one server became the digital seed they used to rebuild their entire global empire.
I mean, that story is just terrifying, right? And it proves our point perfectly. You can't just focus on building impenetrable walls. You have to build a fortress that's designed to survive an attack and be rebuilt. And that is the whole idea behind cyber resilience.
So what are we really talking about when we say cyber resilience? Well, luckily, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, you'll hear them called NIST, gives us a fantastic blueprint. It's all built on 4 core pillars. First up, you've got to anticipate. Think of this as your watchtower. It's all about looking out at the horizon, using intelligence to see what threats are coming, and planning for different storms before they even get close. Okay, pillar number 2, withstand. These are the actual walls of your fortress. You build them strong with multiple layers of security and backups so that if one defense fails, another one is right there to take its place. No single point of failure.
But look, let's be real. The walls can get breached. And when that happens, and it will happen, you need to recover. This is your emergency plan, your fire drill. You need a well-tested process to get everything back online as fast as possible to limit the damage.
And that brings us to the final pillar. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all. You have to adapt. After an attack, you don't just patch the hole and move on. You study it, you learn from it, and you use those lessons to make your entire fortress stronger for next time.
All right, so we have our 4 pillars. Now let's really dig into that withstand pillar. How do you actually build these proactive defenses to resist an attack in the first place?
A key concept is something called high availability. It's all about making sure your services stay online. One way is load balancing, which is like having multiple gates into your castle to spread out the traffic. Another is clustering, where your servers work like a team of guards. If one goes down, another one instantly steps up to take its place. Seamless.
Of course, you can't talk about defense without talking about encryption, and there are 2 main flavors here. Symmetric is kind of like a secret handshake, one shared key to lock and unlock the data. It's fast. Then you've got asymmetric, which is more like having a public mailbox. Anyone can drop a letter in, but only you have the private key to open it. But maybe the most important safety net you can have is a solid backup plan. And for that, there's this brilliant little rule of thumb called the 3-2-1 rule. It's so simple, but so powerful. Keep at least 3 copies of your data, store them on 2 different types of media, and make sure at least one of those copies is located completely off-site. Okay, so your defenses are strong, but the bad guys still found a way in. It happens. Now what? This is where that 3rd pillar, recover, becomes everything. It's time to open up your emergency playbook.
A big part of recovery is having a fallback location. You've got your hot site. Think of it as a fully stocked, ready-to-go bunker that you can switch to in minutes. Then there's a cold site, which is more like an empty plot of land with the utilities hooked up. It's cheap, but it'll take you a while to get set up. And a warm site is somewhere in between. So, how do you choose which site you need? Well, it all boils down to 2 really critical questions. First is your recovery time objective, or RTO. Basically, how long can you afford to be shut down? Is it minutes, hours, days? The second is your recovery point objective, or RPO. This one asks, how much data, how much work are you okay with losing and having to redo? The answers to those 2 questions define your entire strategy. So you see, building this fortress, it's not a one-and-done project. You can't just build it and walk away. Real, lasting resilience comes from that final, crucial pillar. You have to adapt. I mean, what good is a playbook if you've never actually run the plays, right? That's why the best organizations are constantly drilling. They run tabletop exercises where they just talk through a disaster. They do failover tests to make sure the backup systems actually work. And sometimes they do full-blown simulations that mimic a real crisis. And that really brings us full circle, you know? Cyber resilience isn't some product you can just go out and buy. It's a process. It's a continuous cycle of anticipating what's coming, withstanding the hit, recovering quickly, and most importantly, adapting so you're even stronger the next time. So here's the bottom line. It's not about building walls so high that no one can ever get in. It's about having the plan, the tools, and the team to rebuild, and rebuild stronger when that inevitable storm hits. The real question you have to ask is your fortress ready?